Hello, ladies. Welcome back. So, today I want to talk to you guys about setting healthy habits in the morning that will just help you have an amazing day to just help elevate you and feel positive. And what really motivated me to talk about this is my own experience running a 5K that I just finished. So I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I was doing a new program called 30 Day Breakaway, where at the end of the 30 days, I was going to run a 5K. So I did it, but it the morning of was a bit of a struggle. And so here's what happened. So the night before the race, I had set the intention to get enough rest. So I was going to wake up a little bit later than I'm used to the next day, because when you are going to run a 5K, which is 3.1 miles, and you want to run it at like by a certain time, you really need your rest. You need to rest up and then just feel really good and fresh the next day. And so I I looked at my phone before I went to bed. I knew I shouldn't have done this, but I still did it. We're not perfect. And then I saw this email that kind of like rattled me a little bit. So I went to bed feeling rattled and I woke up feeling rattled. So my mood was not where I wanted it to be. And so here's like where it got interesting and where, all of this vlog came about. I was like, okay, I started to question myself. I'm like, am I meant to run it today? Or, can I like push it to another day? Maybe push it until next week, because the rest of this week I'm going to be super busy with work and la di da di da da da. Right? I started to like have all these thoughts, and they were happening within like less than an hour. And so I was like, okay, no, 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 no. Like, you got to stick to it. Just take it one thing at a time. Do your morning routine. And so here's how my routine usually goes during this season of my life. Because your routine is going to change, just as your life changes. So right now, what I do is I wake up, I turn on some music, some tunes that I love, and that just make me feel really good. I take my pre-workout. I open up my devotional book. I start reading a passage, and then I highlight and then reflect on it. And so that morning, I one passage in there really stood out to me, and it said, "Do not let fear hold you back from your talents." And so that just like continued to play in my brain that morning. And then I pray after I work out, but this time I was like, oh no, I need to talk to you, God, like first thing right now before I even decide whether or not I'm gonna do this. I asked him for guidance, and I was like, there is no other day that I can do this. Like, today is the day. I slept in, so like, you just gotta go for it. And so I started walking towards the location where I was gonna run out. And then I saw like construction workers there, and I was like, oh man, like I thought it was gonna be smooth sailing. Like, now I gotta worry about running around them, worry about like all these other things. And so it was just like small minor things, but like deep rooted, it was fear. And that's how fear tries to get us, right? It doesn't like announce itself like, hey girl, I'm here. No, it does it like in little sneaky ways, and it starts to like cause you to have doubt, to question yourself. And sometimes it cripples us. It doesn't, we don't move forward with the commitment that we made to ourselves. And so it like just small minor things. And then while I was running, my headphones turned off. And that is like major, because when you're running for over 3 miles, like, you need a little bit of distraction. Especially that last mile. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And then I had set, a certain time that I wanted to complete the 5K. And I was getting there. And I still had about a mile to go. And so I was like, oh gosh, I'm so tired. It's just me, my heavy breathing, these thoughts that are going in my head. And I'm like, oh, what if I just stop now? Then I'm going to have to redo it another day. And so it was just a lot of heaviness, a lot of like doubt, and a lot of fear running through my head. But then I went back to what I read that morning in my devotional, where it talked about fear not letting it hold you back from your talents. And so I ran with that. I like physically, emotionally, I ran with that, and then I just started saying, like, God is with me, God is with me, He's gonna give my legs the strength to finish this. um, and finally I finished it. I committed fully. I completed it in a time that I'm very, very proud of. um, but it wouldn't have happened had I not stuck to the habits that I had already created. Even though, even like my music wasn't even pumping me up that morning, I still did like the next thing. All right, I'm gonna dive into my devotional. All right, I'm gonna dive into my prayer. Okay, now I gotta get to work, and that really like helped me get to the end of that 5K. And it was more than just the 5K. It was just like proving to myself that I can beat fear, that is possible. And so I wanted to talk about that because it's so important, even when we have super busy lives, whether you're an entrepreneur and you're starting out your business. I know that is so like time consuming. You're a working parent, um, a parent period. I mean, that is just like 20 jobs in itself. It's so important that the moment we wake up, we do something for ourselves, because that's going to set the tone for our day and how we are going to show up, not just for us, but for, everybody else. Right. And it doesn't have to be anything that like super time consuming, but it has to be something that will make you feel good. If right now you're like, well, Karina, I don't know, like, I don't know where I can fit any of that. I gotta get the kids up, I gotta go to work, and then I gotta come home, I gotta cook dinner, I gotta do all of this stuff. It literally can be 10 minutes of you lighting a candle, sitting in silence, and just listening to yourself. That speaks volumes, because we have become so disconnected with who we are, that we're making excuses that we don't have 10 minutes to devote to our own being. If we don't have that, then do we even have a life? Like, so it just takes doing something for yourself. It can be 30 minutes of exercise. It could be 10 minutes of meditation. It could be 10 minutes of prayer, whatever elevates you, 10 minutes of dancing, put on some Selena or some other tunes that you enjoy, but it has to be yours. And it's okay. It's not selfish. It's not just like, it's not like that. It's like, no, it helps you become the best version of you, and I think it's super important to talk about this, especially right now that we're going to be going into, Thanksgiving and the holiday season. That in itself, it's a beautiful time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year, because it really uh, shows you how much family is important and togetherness and all of that. But also it could be very stressful, especially if you are a host, or, maybe you're newly married and you're hosting dinner and stuff. It could be very like, like high pressure and stuff. So it's important for you that morning, Thanksgiving morning, you wake up and you do something for you. Like I said, it could be 30 minutes of exercise. It could be journaling, 10 minutes of journaling, prayer, whatever it is, whatever like makes you feel good, just do it. Because doing that consistently is really going to help you push through those hard moments. When fear is going to like try and come at you, it could come at you, I don't know, in other areas of your life. But if you start off your days on a really positive note, feeling good, then fear is not going to stand a chance. you're gonna be able to fight it back and fight it. And the more you keep going with these habits and you take them on, the quicker you're going to be able to like bounce back when you do have lower moments in life. um so I just wanted to share that, and this whole experience with running a 5K, I highly encourage you. If you've never done it, that's a really great challenge, because that runner's high at the end, ooh, I legit stayed there for like 30 minutes just taking everything in, like, did this just happen? Oh my gosh, the sky is so beautiful. I'm so thankful I can breathe now. It's a really amazing experience. I've done it in big groups of people before this pandemic, of course, and it's beautiful. It really brings, I don't know, you get a really beautiful sense of humanity, and just like how it's beautiful when we come together and support each other. But it's also a very spiritual experience when you do it on your own, because this time I did it on my own. I ran. I didn't have anybody at the finish line. It was just me. Well, I had God. So I had God at the finish line. But it was very spiritual, very healing, very empowering. Uh, and so, yeah, it really, you connect with how resilient you are physically and emotionally. So anyways, that was a little off topic, but just do something for yourself every morning, because you deserve it. You're worthy of it. So I hope this was helpful. I will talk to you guys next week. Have a safe, a fun, a relaxed, just have a great time this Thanksgiving. And I'm very, very grateful for you guys and for watching these videos. I hope they're helpful to you. And I'm just so, so blessed to have y'all in my life. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.